Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Influenced Colorist. So I feel like I've been doing so many wintry color palettes, more blues and grays. So I really wanted to switch it up and do a Valentine's Day theme color palette with brighter pinks and reds for February. And to knock out a few more pages this month, I'm going to do one color palette on two different pages in two different books. So I thought I would share that on video with you so you can see how you can take one color palette and make it pretty versatile. One will be more with pencils and the other will be bolder using more markers and paint. So I'll show you a picture of the color palette that I picked out. And then these are the pages that I'll be using that color palette with. So the first one is Europa by Rita Berman, and it is her trip around Europe. I'm doing this page. I really liked this heart wreath. Now I have already done this page. This was done last year. And even though the color palette, they're not the exact colors from this one, I think it will coordinate and complement it just fine. There might be a few colors I pull from this just to get it to coordinate nicely. Definitely some yellows for like the center of the flower, and I haven't decided if I'm gonna do some green leaves or if I'll stick with the color palette. So we'll see on that. But yeah, I thought that would be a nice page for that color palette. And then Serene, I have been wanting to work in this book this winter. So I was looking through here and found this girl. This one is called Fly. And yeah, what struck me first was the little wings, and then I saw this bigger wing. So she kind of represents maybe a fairy, or even could be like a Cupid type of character. But yeah, I felt like the color palette would work really well for this page. So yeah, this one will be more acrylic paint. I'll probably do an acrylic paint background and use more of a marker base and then color pencil shading. So it'll definitely be like brighter and bolder. All right, so like always, I'll do some on-camera coloring, normal speed, and also speed coloring, and then I'll do some off-camera, and I will let you know what I'm doing if there's any special techniques. So with that, let's get started. Let me put up the color palette again, and then here are the color pencils I felt matched the best. Unfortunately, they are from different pencil sets, but sometimes that's the way it goes. I have some Polychromos, some Luminance, and some Prisma colors that I'll be working with. I'm going to start with the berries. Pretty much all the berry looking things will be this color. Dark around the top of the berry, and then I will highlight with yellow. And with this little grouping of berries, I'm going to add some light violet red just to give it a little bit more variation. Okay, I went ahead and finished the berries off camera. My strategy for this image and color palette is to start with one set of colors and just kind of sprinkle it around the image. And then I'll move on to another color combo, and then so on. And then when I have most of the things colored, I'll take a look at what else is left and then add in the colors as needed. That way, just to have a good balance of the colors. All right, these little periwinkle flowers are going to be more of my purple shades. So I'm just starting off with the light violet red, and then I'll go to the grade lavender. That will hopefully keep it light, that kind of blends it together. Also using a blender, the Luminance colorless blender, to kind of help blend that out. All right, and then I think I'm going to do the stems and some of these leaves in the purple color too. This time I'm going to highlight with a little bit of pink and just add a touch of pink inside those periwinkles. The next few flowers I want to keep more on the light end, so I'll be using the light pinks with some of the peach and yellow for highlighting, and then using the grade lavender for shading. All right, and I have decided to add some green in here. I know it kind of steers away from the main color palette, but I just felt like it needed to tie into the page next to it a little bit better. So I'm using the same greens that I used on that page. Wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with these clover looking leaves. So I'm going to do them light pink and light green, and hopefully that will help balance some of the green on the top. Now to incorporate the darker, bolder yellow from the other page, I'm going to use this Ohuhu yellow paint pen for the center of the flowers. All right, and then to finish off, I'm pulling out these chalks. They are a really old set from my old stamping and scrapbooking days. Not as soft as like a pan pastel, but they're easier to use than the chalks that are in the stick form, where you don't have to like, shave off some of the chalk on the stick. So yeah, I just rub my little brush on here, and then I'm going to just kind of go in the middle of some of these areas and on the inner part of the edge and the outer part of the edge of the wreath. All right, this page is done. Here is a look at it with the color palette. I think it looks pretty good and also looks nice with the other page. Makes for a nice double page spread. Okay, now for my page in Serene, I'll be doing the same color palette, maybe adding a few additional colors, I'll have to see. And this one will just be more bold. So I'm going to paint the background with this Americana Craft acrylic paint. Color is Vivid Violet. And I'm going to spray a little bit of water in here, just hoping to help it spread out a little bit better. But if I do a second coat, I probably won't spray. I'll do the bigger area first and then get a smaller brush for the edges around the image. And I also used some painter's tape just for the edge so I don't get anything on that page above it. All right, I finished off camera and I did do a second coat of the paint. I can still see some uneven brush lines, which I don't like, so I'll try to smooth it out later. I'm using Ohuhu alcohol markers to base everything else, and then we'll go back through and shade with color pencil. Basically doing the same thing as the last page, picking areas to color with one color and then moving to another color. I did use skin tone marker for her skin, but it was running out, so I will use my pan pastels to finish it off. But first I need to do her hair. I like the black look, so I'll just use the light purple for some highlights. All right, now I'm using the pan pastels to finish off her skin, add some shadows. So the pan pastel colors that I use for the skin are red iron oxide tint, burnt sienna shade, and titanium white. All right, now I just want to add some more shadow contrast in the hair, so I'm using a dark gray and then blending it out. Adding a touch of color to her eyes and lips, nothing really dramatic. I usually try to keep it pretty simple, and a little more shadow and highlights with the pencil too. All right, now to finish the background, I want a slight highlight around the edge, so I'm going to try out a light pink pan pastel and then blend it out with the magenta. That actually matches really nice, so I'm hoping it will camouflage all those paint lines. All right, and then now taking a kneadable eraser, I'm just swiping off some of the extra pan pastel dust that gets on the regular image. When you color stuff in color pencil and then you use this kneadable eraser in the pan pastel, it comes off super easy. All right, and then I did add some extreme glitter. It's a acrylic paint type of glitter paint into the wings, a little bit in the flower, and in these beads here. I think it adds a nice little sparkly touch. I really like the way this one turned out, very vibrant and bold. So let's take a look at the first picture and the color palette and compare looks. So my heart wreath in Rita Berman's book is definitely more of a softer look. Even though it started with a lot of the darker purples, the lighter flowers with the peach and yellow, I feel kind of took it over. I still see the color palette inspiration, but it's definitely more evident in my Serene page. I went more bold with my medium choices, and also my highlights and shadows, I wanted more contrast to create a more dramatic effect. And even though I did add additional colors to the palettes on both pages, I think the dominant colors of the palette are still there. Thanks for watching today, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. This month is my 3-year YouTube anniversary, and I'm trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. You all are awesome. I hope you have a great day. See you next time.